But sometimes you just have to wait a second because even though it says it's on, I've noticed that, I'll watch the things back and it's like I'm like mid sentence,
Right, right. Well, I just got the what do you call it? The alert that you are in fact on.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we're here. Hey, hello everybody. This is Johnny Beane and Guitar Hack.
Hey, folks. How's everyone doing?
What's up? What's up? 10:33 a.m. out here in beautiful Santa Cruz. What time is it there?
It is 1:33 p.m. Eastern.
Cool. Hey Jimmy. Jimmy. Brendan Buttcheeks. What's up, man? Brian
Hey, man.
Bond. Mike Neese. R2R3. Layla's guitar. And everybody. Omega 5150.
There's Brian Bond. Brian, don't worry about it, man. Brian Bond was he was talking to me in a chat on Friday saying he might come to my. I played a gig last night. I was saying to you earlier. He's saying he might come out and check it out, but he wasn't able to make it. So no worries, man. I know it's a little bit of a hike for you, so that's cool.
That's cool. Oh, it's September 22nd, by the way,
Yes.
of 2019.
Hey,
Cool.
Brendan B. Squared. How are you? Welcome,
So,
everybody.
so where did you play? Where was your gig?
It was it's about an hour like southwest of here. Just a little bar in a plaza, nothing major. Played there before. It was like I was saying to you, like it was what was kind of nice about it was it was an 8:30 start, and we were really supposed to go to 12:30. You know, half an hour break. So you do about an hour, you get a half an hour break. But we went up to do the last set, thinking we were going to go to 12:30, and the manager comes out and says, you guys can finish at 12." We're like, bonus. Because when you're in a bar band, usually the third set, that's when everybody sort of starts. After the second set, they start kind of going home in that, and you got more, and it's weird because you got your most lively stuff in the third set, and by the time you hit the third set, you're like playing to the, you're playing to the glasses in the bar, So it was kind of nice that they let us off the hook early. So yeah.
That's cool. So, like, let's say you notice, the place starts to. Well, you just have to play it by ear. Like, sometimes you'll kick it into like the second set early, or you'll choose a song that well, hey, this will wake them up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll do. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the benefits. If you've been, we've been playing a lot of shows, and we can do stuff on the fly. We can change the list. You know what I mean? We have that flexibility now. So yeah, we'll do stuff like that. We'll do quick substitutions. If we see that people are up and we want to keep them up, then okay, let's do this one instead of that one. Yeah. Just stuff like that. But half an hour breaks, I think, is like, every bar is different. Some bars will say, half an hour break. Some bars will want you like up like after 15 minutes. But what I find is when you do the half an hour breaks, a lot of people just start leaving because they don't want to wait a half an hour. It's good for us, but it's bad for the momentum, if you will. Do you know what I mean?
That's 30 minutes seems a little too long.
Yeah.
Especially, I would say, nothing against your band, but especially if it's the same band coming back, you'd think more people would load in if it was a different group.
Yeah.
If because because different bands draw different people. Right. And so I would think if it's one band playing 3 sets, I would say in between, 15 minutes tops.
Yeah.
I would think.
Yeah. Well, it's a cover band too, Johnny, right? So, if it was an originals band, maybe. If it's an originals band, I mean, the way the original bands go here is like you're playing a showcase and there's three different bands and everybody's got a 45-minute set. That's how that goes usually here.
Mhm.
But cover bands, you got usually you're doing 3 sets and you're playing an hour per, and then the breaks in between vary. So, but I think 20 minutes is probably that's sort of like where you want to be. I think people wait around for 20 minutes, and some places will throw a DJ on in between sets too, and that helps a lot too.
Mhm.
That'll keep people dancing and stuff. The place we played last week, they had and here's the killer. That DJ, like, he's playing through the house PA, and he's absolutely cranked. Like, this guy is so loud, Johnny. I couldn't stay in the bar when this guy was, and I had to go wait outside, and this is with earplugs in and all. I'm like, oh my God, because I don't
Mhm.
know if this has ever happened to you. Have you ever been around such extremely loud volumes where then when you go to play the guitar, you can't tell if you're in tune, out of tune, in key, out? You can't just. It's like you're musically blind. Has that ever happened to you?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I have to
Yeah.
go outside, or I have no perspective. It sounds like everything I'm playing is out of key.
Yeah,
So
you got to rely on your tuner. You got to rely on
yeah,
looking at your tuner and I know.
you can't judge. Like, is this a good tone? Is this a bad tone? Am I, you just, it's like you're flying blind totally,
Mhm.
because your ears have been blown out.
Well, I guess that's where the breaks come in handy, to give you a
Yeah,
break from the sound um but yeah, I can see, playing if it's one group playing 3 sets, it's a long night
it is a long night. Yeah.
and you probably wake up the next day and it's just all just like a blur,
Well, yeah,
you
that's
know.
like I do it. Like, I actually, just before we went on, I did my after gig hangout, and usually that's the comment I get. Man, you look like hell. It's like, yeah, because I had a gig last night. It's like,
You come on and you're like, "Hey everybody, am I loud? I
can you
can't hear
hear me?
anything."
Exactly.
That's actually how I feel right now. These are those noise canceling headphones that I have.
Um,
So, like, it blocks everything out. So, you know, normally with my other headphones I'd be able to hear myself through here.
right,
Now I can't. So it sounds like it's all stuffed up. So I kind of sound like my ears are all blown out
blown out.
when
Yeah,
I wear these, So I know exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I've done rehearsals though. I remember I did this. I was in this band and we had this bass player for a while that had this huge bass amp and he would just crank the thing like
Oh,
beforehand, you know.
yeah.
And I remember just getting dizzy, just from his bass, just getting dizzy and being like, "Whoa," you know.
And you don't have to crank bass, man, because bass travels. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
bass does not have to be very loud to be heard. And then you're trying to keep up with the bass, and then you got the drums to contend with, and then it starts turning into volume wars, which is never a good thing.
No. No, that's actually how I got I guess hearing damage, I guess.
You have
I can hear. My hearing's fine,
you have
but
tinnitus probably,
I have
right?
pretty bad tinnitus on this
So do
side.
I. Yeah.
And that I was in this one group this one time and they kept getting louder and louder and louder and I was wearing earplugs. And I remember telling them, "Hey guys, we don't need to get this loud. It's a rehearsal. We're in a tiny little room,
Right.
you know?"
Hmm.
And then I walk out of there and all I heard was like
White
just
noise. Yeah.
nonstop white noise, yeah.
Mhm.
And when my hearing came back, this ringing was there and never went. It's been 10 years. The ringing's never gone away.
Yeah. You
You
always
know.
remember when you get it. Like, I was doing, and I like that. I remember exactly. I was playing a charity show. This is years ago, and I was standing beside the drummer's ride cymbal.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hearing that ride all night, and I mean, nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary. And I came home from that gig, and my ears were ringing, which is normal, right? and usually wake up the next morning and it's gone. Well, it never went away. And I still have it to this day. And when you first get it, it really messes you up. At least it messed me up. Like, over time, your brain trains itself to kind of block it out. Right. The
Mhm.
worst is when you're trying to sleep. That's when it's quiet. As long as there's background noise, you're okay. But when it gets real quiet, like when you're trying to sleep, that's when you're hearing it. So I like the first while, like it really messed me up, until my brain sort of accepted it, if you will. And now I
Mhm.
can sleep and I don't have to have like a background noise going. But I know people have had it really bad. I worked with a guy that had it really bad. He would miss weeks of work because it would totally mess him up, you know.
Mhm.
So it's something very serious, and hearing doesn't come back. I mean, once it's gone, it's gone.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I know, man.
Did
I
you go
remember.
for a hearing test once you had that happen? Because I went for a hearing test.
Yeah.
You did,
Oh,
eh?
yeah, I went to several different doctors,
Right, right.
and I didn't just go to doctors. I went to like specialists. I went to like ear specialists.
Hmm.
Um, what do you call it? Um, where are they? I've got specially molded earplugs that
I
I
got them
made.
too. Yeah, I had them too. Yeah.
You know, and I remember going to these people and telling them exactly what was going on, and they were like, "Yeah, we know, we have it." A lot of them, not maybe not the doctors, but some of the people that have gotten into the earplug stuff. That happened to them.
Right.
There's this man, what's her name? This woman that does her organization is called Here, and she's based out of San Francisco, and she's the one that did the molds for me.
Right.
She used to play bass in a band. I remember they one of their things they opened up for Duran Duran. Remember the Reflex
Yeah.
video on MTV and all that
Hmm.
during that period
Yeah.
when Duran Duran played Oakland Coliseum. This band, this woman, she was in the played the bass in the band that opened for them.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah.
she played some major gigs like that, and it told me a lot of stories about stuff. And um, but anyway, yeah, yeah, yeah. And this happened to me, the hearing thing, and I was wearing earplugs.
Well,
So
I never did wear earplugs, so it's kind of my own fault. But um, I did go for the hearing test, and because I thought I was at a point where I may even need a hearing aid, and what they told me was like I was literally right on the threshold, right? I'm
hmm,
1 year specifically, but I'm still okay. But yeah, they shot that mold stuff, which was really weird. They shoot that stuff in your ears, and okay, and I got to sit there with this weird, until it hardens up, and then they take it out. So I have the molded, and then there's different, basically depending, like they ask you, like the filters they put in. If you're a musician, they'll put in this certain filter so you can still hear it through it.
hmm, hmm,
So I was like, okay, I was gonna definitely wear those things every rehearsal. So the next time I went to rehearse and I had the things in, and I think they lasted about 10 minutes before I pulled them out again because I
hmm,
just couldn't do it. First I tried it, everything sounded muffled. I kept turning up the amp. They were screaming, "You're too loud." I turn it down, then I can't hear it. And you can't feel like when we rehearse. Generally I rehearse like in a studio, and I'll be playing out of 9 times out of 10 it'll be a 412 cab with a Marshall on it. And if you don't hear that coming at you, I can't do it. I could not get used to those things in my ears. They came out. So I'm back to the bad habits, but I'm real careful now where I stand and stuff. So because I think it's
yeah,
the higher frequencies that do the damage.
yeah, yeah.
You
That's what
know?
it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wear earplugs. Actually, I've got like the construction style. muffs or whatever. Actually, they
Right.
look like these. They look like headphones.
Right.
Um, I wear those depending on the rehearsal, depending on the gig. Um, some places you can get away with not wearing, you know, earplugs. Some places you have to.
Mm.
And even if I have to, like if it's super loud, and it's muffled, I wear them because I know if I don't, I know what's gonna happen. And it's not worth it.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
It's like drinking 12 beers, in one night. The next day, it's not worth it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so you just deal with it, and if you're used to it, if you've done it enough, you can get through it, and it's no big deal. But
Yeah. I got to force myself to put them in and keep them in. That's takes the fun out of it, though. Honestly, man. You know what I mean? It really
mhm,
takes the fun out of it. So
yeah. Hello, everybody. Matthew Stewart, music therapy. Hey, man, Soda, Brian S, Ed Dana, Bam Ozzy. Yeah, yeah. We're talking about ear protection,
talking
and
about ear protection. Yeah.
which it's very important.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I know, man. I mean, I when I was you know early 20s, I had the half stack. I'd be blasting that thing, and you walk out of the rehearsal, and you're just like your ears are just buzzing,
Yeah.
and you're like, man, that was a great rehearsal, even though it might have sucked. If your ears are buzzing, that meant it was great. You know. um,
Yeah.
but
Krellbar is just saying guitar hack is musician earplug. I have them. That's what I have. And it attenuates the sound but leaves a high end. That's what I have. Yeah.
I think I've tried those, and I think for me they were kind of painful, like sound wise.
Hmm.
The stuff it let in was a little too high or too I don't know.
Well, all it is like they put a little, like the filter is just a very, like basically a drilled hole in the earplug.
Hmm.
And it's just sized big enough that it'll let that wave get into your ear. Right. So, and then block out everything else. So that's all it really is. But
Hmm.
again, you're not. I don't know. When I say it takes the fun out of it, it would be like if I don't feel the grind, the power of the guitar. It just, it's just, you know what I mean. Like, it's like that's the whole fun of it. I want to hear those tubes. I want to hear that. You know, it just takes all the fun out of it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I think you can tell though a lot of times, even if the music is a bit, a little loud, if it's not painful, because it can get to a point where it's actually painful, where it actually hurts,
Oh shit. Yeah. Of course.
and there's been gigs I've had to walk out of, um, or I would stay outside until it was time to go on, and then I would go on and leave again, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but it's not even live gigs, in the studio, recording or mixing. That's why if you do your own recording and you're mixing yourself, like I've got studio monitors on each side here. I've got
Hmm.
headphones. When I mix, you can only mix for so long, and then until your ears until you start, you know, where you can't really tell what's going on, and that's when
Yeah.
you walk away, you take a break,
Exactly. You got to refresh.
come
Yeah.
back,
Hmm.
and then listen to it, and you're like, man, that sounds horrible, you
Yeah.
know.
No, yeah. Sometimes, yeah, you got to take a break from it. Yeah, for sure. Get your perspective back, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and different earphones, like these ones that I'm wearing. I'm getting used to them now. They don't sound anything like the previous pair I had. Because I've been doing these videos for a long time, and every so often I got to switch headphones because they break or whatever, and every time I got to get used to again the next set that I'm using
Right.
because they all sound different. You know.
So you have a
Um,
question. Johnny Alexandra, Polish girl, is asking, what headphones do you use?
Oh man, I don't even know. These were a gift. Let me see. Oh wow, now I can hear, but I can't hear you. Hang on. uh, they say professional. Oh wait. Uh, Beyer dynamic. Is that Bear?
Beyer.
Be
Bayer. Yeah.
Bear.
Bayer. Yeah.
Bear dynamic.
I
They're
never
kind
heard
of
of
noise canceling because yeah, when I put them on, anything out here gets like totally muffled.
it. Right.
Um, so it is kind of weird wearing these things for a while and then taking them off. And where's Nedward? He's here somewhere. That's the cat.
I
Ned.
saw the cat jumping around on your couch when you first started out. Is your window
Ah,
open? I jumped out the
yeah,
window.
yeah. The
Okay.
window's open, so he
Okay,
jumps
that's
out.
so that's what I saw. The cat using your couch as a launch pad for the window.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's super cool. Um,
Yeah, those Rick Romanelli buys his headphones at Walgreens.
yeah, I
That's
used
all
to.
right.
I used to use those. I can't use uh what is it called? Ever since my ears got blown out 10 years ago, I can't use the earbuds like for like the iPhone
Right, right.
or whatever. Those just are useless to me now. Maybe they always were actually, but the last time I rode down to LA, on a plane, I put them on and they were just useless. Couldn't hear anything out of them. Couldn't use them. There's no tone whatsoever.
Oh, Mike Neese has
You
got
know.
the information about that microphone, Bear Dyna or headphones. It's a German audio equipment manufacturer, produces mics, headphones, wireless audio, conference systems. Okay, it's got little summary of the company there.
Cool. Yeah, sorry, I forget who's Mike. Were you the one that sent these to me? I'm sorry, I can't remember, but um, they're great. They're great. I use them mostly uh, with my laptop. I take them with me in my backpack. These headphones.
Mm.
Although now, since the ones I was using like totally busted, I use them. When I'm sitting here for this. But I'm using them with my MacBook. And they work. They're awesome for if you're at a cafe. You know,
Yeah,
if
we
you're at a
block everything
cafe
out.
and
Yeah.
they're playing music and it's loud. It's a lot of noises and stuff,
Mhm.
and they're very very they're great for that.
Cool. Mark Taylor was saying he doesn't notice his tinnitus until he starts thinking about it, and now he's feeling it. But that's true.
Man,
If you focus on it, there it is. The whole
yeah.
idea is trying to block it out, right?
Well, that's how it used to be with me. I had it in this ear very very slightly,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't notice it until the doctor told me I had it, and I'm like, I do, and then all of a sudden I would hear it.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened on this side was I was at that rehearsal where everybody got too loud, and the other guitar player hit their wah pedal, and it was like a pitchfork went right into my ear,
Yeah.
and that's where the sound, that's what created this. Um, and so yeah, you can't, as long as I'm inside, if especially wearing these things, it's totally, well, it's actually the same either way, but um, you can't escape it. Although there are some tricks. If you go over and turn on like the sink, some running water,
Yeah.
that will mask it. Or
Yeah.
if you're out and especially out here, like if I go to the beach, like I might, we were talking offline, I might go to the beach a little later.
Right.
That it goes away because of the water sound.
Yeah. You got
It
a
takes it away.
background noise to. Yeah.
That's why when they make those little machines, those sound machines that you can turn on at night, a lot of times it has the sound of oceans and waves and the white noise. That's kind of what white noise is, actually. Same kind of
That's basically what it is.
stuff. But um yeah, it's yeah, you got to protect your ears and
Yeah, protect your ears because once it's gone, it's gone.
mhm.
I'm just returning us. I got somebody wants to see the show and they're asking me about what your channel is, so just letting them know.
Cool.
Well, I got a lot of familiar faces in here. Fruitcake Tony, Soda, Brett McCord, Buddy R2, R3's in here. Cool.
Hey dudes. Let's see. And here's the reason why I use 3 computers. One of my computers just went out.
Oh Lord.
It
Krellbar, how's it going? Yeah, I was saying it earlier. It's weird being on this side of the on this side of the microphone, so to speak.
I know.
I automatically want to start, going to the chat and later music therapy, Laz. He's got to go.
Hey, see you, man.
Take care, man. There's JJ, House of Jams.
Hey, dude.
Cool.
JJ. I'll see you soon, man. Yeah, I see JJ every time I go down to Anaheim.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Somebody said nice shirt. Thank you, man. This was from Tone King. Tascam.
There you go.
I love Tascams. That's actually what I use. I've got a Tascam right here.
Nice.
Old school, Okay, yeah. So this computer is gone. Yeah, that computer just split, and so now I got to rely on the other 2.
Just gave up. Too much information. Shutting her down.
Man, Aaron Songs. Hey, man. I was watching some of your stuff the other night, man.
Yeah, I was on his live stream the other day as well. He's a really awesome player, man.
Yeah, playing the acoustic,
yeah,
the acoustic stuff.
Yeah, really good. A lot of talent in here, man.
That's awesome. JJ, yeah. Steve Anderson, what up, dude? Hey, Dutchie.
Hey, Dutchie. Hey, Steve. Danny Allen.
Okay, wait, which mouse is this? I've got 3 mice. I've got 3 computers.
You got a cat and 3 mice?
Yeah. Actually, one of the reasons why we got the cat is because of the mice. There's the mice outside, and
Field mice?
they're starting to take over. Yeah, the what do you call them? They've got the white. They got the white undersides.
Oh, okay. Okay,
That's
not what I have here.
What are those called? They're called something.
Because I got a field behind me, and we get these. Well, they don't come in the house, thank God. But I've got a shed out back, and they're field mice, right? They're tiny. They're about that big.
The ones here, they're about like that.
Oh, they're bigger.
They're big.
When does a mouse become a rat? Where's the cutoff? How big does it get?
What's the size?
What size does this? Yeah, where does the mouse become a rat? How big does that?
I thought they were born mice, and then when they grow up, they're rats.
Is that how it goes? I don't know. What's the evolution of the mouse to the rat? Anybody in the chat, can you answer
that? Tony, where's Nedward? I think he's out the window somewhere. He'll be back. Actually, I can call him. I can actually call him, and he'll actually come back.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody's telling me it's weird.
It's weird for cats.
For a cat, I can actually I can call him, I can call his name, I can be like, hey, come here, and he comes right to me.
That's
You know,
cool.
we can try it. We can try it. Hang on. Let's see if he shows up. I don't know how far he is though. I don't know where he went.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
going to
because we live like you said. You have a field. Same thing here. I live out in the middle of nowhere, like the woods, and so he could be anywhere.
Is he going to come back in the way he went out through the window there?
If he comes back, yeah, he'll come back through that
Through the
window.
window?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, this is Cat Chat, everybody. Welcome.
Cat Chat. Welcome to Cat Chat.
Cat Chat.
Hey, you know what? I got a funny story for you. So, and you could make this up if you wanted to. So this was around Christmas time. We went out of town to visit my wife's parents or visit somebody. I can't remember exactly. Anyways, so we were looking for motels in the area or hotels in the area that were pet friendly because we were taking my little dog up because we were going up for a couple of days, right? So we found one. So we get there, and I'm looking around, and I'm noticing like there's a lot of people there wearing like some like cat shirts and like they all had cat stuff on them or whatever, like some bags. And I just thought, okay, maybe cats are real popular or something in this little town or whatever. And then we went to check in, and I asked the girl at the counter, I said, I said, is there some cat thing in town or whatever? She tells me, yes, there's a cat conference or cat convention going on, and everyone is staying here. And I got a dog. Right? So my dog was flipping out the whole time we were there because it was hearing the cats and seeing cats and whatever. It's like the absolute worst time, Anyway, it was just like a total fluke, right? Anyway. Don't bring your dog to a cat convention.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about Ned, and Howie. Howie's right here. Is all Howie's life he's never liked cats, and now, he's almost 17. He'll be 17 in January.
Wow.
And Ned, he likes Ned. Ned loves him. To
That's
see these two together, it's amazing.
That's very cool.
But actually, speaking of Cat Ocon, there's about an hour south. There's this town called Carmel.
Oh, I've heard of Carmel.
And yeah. You guys might have heard of Carmel because Clint Eastwood used to be the mayor of Carmel, and they filmed the last Dirty Harry movie in Carmel. Part of it was filmed there. And I think he owns a restaurant down there. Maybe I think he still does or something. But anyway, you guys know Doris Day, the actress?
Yeah.
Doris Day, the singer. She passed away.
Not that long ago. It was pretty
recently. Yeah. She lived down in Carmel, and she had a hotel down there, and it was pet friendly. Because for years she's been very pro pets. And there's Ned. Oh, you're in the garage. He was in the garage, I guess. He just kept jumping out of it. He must have been finishing his breakfast. Oh, now he's looking at Howie's plate.
1 second.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, you guys. Yeah, Doris Day. Yeah, has a hotel down in Carmel, and you walk through there, and it's dogs and cats and rabbits and like everything everywhere.
Wow. That's cool.
It's like you go up to you notice a roach in the room. It's like, you guys have roaches. Like, no, we don't. They're staying here. They're somebody next door brought their pet roach.
We don't have a pest problem. They're our guests.
Ants? No, the ants are staying in
Oh
room number
man,
4.
that's room 12. Oh Lord.
Bigfoot? Oh, he's staying here.
Yeah, that's funny.
Huh? Roland Heights? That's where you're from, Aaron Songs?
Rolling Heights.
I'm not sure. Is that around here? Um, Martin Taylor, Johnny, you ever go to Cameron's in Half Moon Bay? You thought you saw me there? I don't. I know Half Moon Bay. There's Ned. There he is. Half Moon Bay is very close to here.
Yeah, Crowbar is saying Doris Day passed away in May. She was 97. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she was one of the there's a lot of, Hollywood actors, especially from the 40s, 50s, 60s,
Mm-hmm.
that everybody, super, legends, and she was one of them.
Oh,
One
for
of them.
sure.
And local, like a local legend, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
Los Gatos, Mickey. Yeah, I know Los Gatos. Actually, I drove past Los Gatos this morning. I had to drive to San Jose Airport early this morning, and I passed through Los Gatos. And like I was telling Guitar Hack, I'm luckily I made it back, because if you guys know Santa Cruz and the boardwalk, it's, especially on a day like this, it's amazing out there. Everybody comes down here, and if there's an accident on Highway 17, you're screwed. You know.
Hey, Jason. Jason is saying hello to us.
Hey.
Yeah, Doris Day was in a relationship with Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I remember that. She was the older woman. Ben Coombs is here. Hey, Ben.
Ben, what's up, man?
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, Rick. Yeah. Yeah. I used to watch all those Doris Day movies, you know. And then her she had all those albums and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of all that stuff, you guys. I know it says EVH, on the sign there, but you guys, if you guys watch me, enough, you know that I listen to a lot of different stuff. And I don't listen to, actually, if I listen to music in the car, most of the time it's classical. There's a classical station around here somewhere. And I've got the two stations I listen to. Well, actually, I listen to a few different ones, but I listen to KFI, which is based in Orange County, Anaheim, like JJ. If you're still in here, you know KFI. I listen to KFI, and then if I just go one dial over, it goes to some random classical station from Central Coast here, and I listen to that a lot. And actually, it helps because I'm deep into the music theory and piano and all this stuff, at the moment, and listening to the classical music, it really opens a lot of this stuff up, So plus I've always listened to classical. I mean, that when my first album when I was a little kid, 5 years old, was a classical record.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Arthur Fiedler, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Boston Pops before John Williams took over.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was the stuff. And yeah, KFI rocks, JJ. I love KFI. Although it only comes in clear here at night. So I can only listen to it in the car at night. But of course, I've got the iHeartRadio I can listen to it in here anytime I want.
Hmm.
Um,
It's funny you're talking about theory. I started teaching guitar lessons again, and I mean that is forcing me to think about theory because you don't really think about theory once you're, not you know as intensely anyway. Just think about the broad sort of concepts to kind of know what you're doing, but you don't really delve into it until you're forced to, maybe explain it to someone, and then you have to start digging down again. And it's almost like you're explaining it, and you're kind of in the process you're relearning it yourself.
mm-hmm.
you know Not that I know a hell of a lot of theory. I mean, I know the basics just to get around kind of thing, but yeah, it really forces you. It's the I mean, this is nothing new or nothing earth shattering, but if you ever want to learn something really well, the best way to learn it is to teach somebody else. You know,
Hmm.
yeah,
I
that's a
see. Yeah.
so like if you're having a problem with a concept, explain that concept to somebody else, and you'll know it cold. That's true.
And then have them explain it back to you.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. 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 It also it depends on like the group that you're playing with or the musicians. Um, I find the more rock musicians that I'm playing with or hanging out with, there's none of that. Nobody talks about any of that, and it's just like,
Right.
hey, yeah, yeah, play, it's G, A, E, you know,
Yeah.
it's just basic, the basic stuff.
Yeah. The basic.
Um,
Yeah.
but if you hang out, I hang out with a lot of jazz musicians now,
Oh, that's a whole other. Yeah.
and it's nothing but hey, yeah, try this, and make that oh, add a third to that one, and then try
Yeah.
flattening that one a little bit.
Yeah. Flat five sharp 11 and all that.
Blah 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 blah,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
and and yeah, yeah, but
Yeah. Yeah. Jazz is like you're basically running. You're operating at the top theoretical limit, so to speak. Like you're right there. You're on. You know what I mean? You're on the cusp.
I think jazz is like
It's the most sophisticated music going, right?
is I yeah
I'd say I'd say even more so than classical. I mean, especially if you're improvising.
oh, especially if you're improvising over jazz classical, man. You're like, what?
I forget. Yeah, I forget. Oh, it was a Rick Beato. I think it was Rick Beato was interviewing. Was it Reggie Wooten?
Victor Wooten?
Victor Wooten. Sorry. Yeah, he was interviewing him, and he said something that I really, really rung true with me. Was he was talking about like classical musicians as opposed to, um, you know, improvisational musicians, and I guess he meant more like the jazz guys and whatever. And he's saying, like they play what's on the page, but they don't have freedom. And if you're an improvisational person, you have the freedom and you can create on the fly, and that's sort of the next tier, so to speak, right? So I could only imagine, like, I mean, I love, like you're saying you listen to a lot of class. For me, I love listening to jazz, right? And listening to guys just improvise over jazz, like over those changes, and how these guys can process that information so quickly that because they're playing along with every chord just about, right? Like they're changing with chords, and
They're
they can, you know what I mean?
they're playing around the chords. They're playing like around and like they're basically dancing in and out of the
Yes,
chords.
exactly. And not only
Hmm.
that, I mean, and then they're doing some atonal stuff, right? And then they're coming back in, and like it's all mixed and mushed, and but like watching these guys be able to do that on the fly, it's just, oh, like it blows my freaking mind. you know I have a hard enough time, switching keys within a solo, never mind friggin' doing it chord by chord. Like, my God, the level that these guys operate at is just unfreaking believable, you know? So,
Hmm.
yeah, that's why I like listening to those guys, because I'm like, it's, like, I'm talking like the Al Di Meolas of this world, or Pat Metheny, or all these kind of guys, right? I just,
Hmm.
you just sit there and and it, yeah, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't hurt. If you turn that on, and you're like, oh, this is awful. It doesn't hurt to listen to it and to get a taste of it,
It's an acquired taste,
and to try to get a feel for it.
It's
Um,
really music for musicians. That's really what
uh,
it is.
y- yeah, um, yeah,
It is because,
yeah.
you know, like okay, like, to make it digestible, you get the George Bensons of the world, right?
Hmm.
Or the Chuck Mangionis, or these kind of people, right? But, you know, and it's kind of a simplified version of what they do. But at that level, when they're playing that intensely, really the only people that really appreciate it, I think, for the most part, are like musicians, other musicians, or somebody that is really heavy into the music. But it's not something that, if it popped on the radio, it'd be like in the top 40. Like, it's not for the masses, is what I mean, right?
No, no, and actually, there's this guy that runs a pet store, or well, there's no pets there, so
He runs a pet store with no pets,
what would you call it? That's not a pet store.
like
It's
pet supplies.
like a feed store.
Right, right, right.
Because out here, we have chickens. People have, my neighbors have
Yeah,
horses. They have goats. You know,
right.
and I'll go in there sometimes, and I guess he listens to some jazz station. There's
Mm-hmm.
Ned. Hey, Ned.
Here's an idea.
He listens to this, and a lot of times, I'll when I'm paying for whatever it is, the machine will take 30 seconds to spit the receipt out. you
Right.
know so I'm listening, so I'm having to listen to what he's listening to, and sometimes it's a little too much, and I'm just thinking, man, I'd go insane if I had to listen to this all day.
It's like math, right?
you know
Listening to musical math.
because I like jazz. I like a lot of different stuff, but some of it is just a little too.
No,
I
I
don't
hear
know.
you.
I don't know how to explain it. I'd have to, yeah, this dude's like super hardcore into it,
Yeah, yeah.
and
No, I
if
get it. Yeah. No, it's true. It's sometimes, maybe it's not musical enough. There's really, it's hard to find the melody. You can't hum to it.
right, yeah, because it's nonstop, like solos,
Yeah.
like just nonstop. But it's not, it's everybody. It's almost like everybody that's
Drum.
playing, they're all soloing at the same time,
Yeah.
all different things.
Yeah. There's nothing to latch onto, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. There's no
yeah.
guide. There's no guide. And that's where sometimes, like, yeah, I know what you mean. It's like three people playing. I mean, that's the joke with jazz, right? If you play a wrong note, you're playing jazz. If it's just a jumble of, there has to be like at least a sort of a, I don't know, like an easy to follow melody or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the stuff that I really dig too, like, Rick Ocasek passed away the other week, and
Mm-hmm.
like, the other thing that I really have I have a lot of respect for the Cars. I think the Cars was like one of the most sophisticated pop bands that ever was. And if you ever try to play a Cars song, that's when you really appreciate the mastery that these guys had. You know, I mean, these guys, their pop songs are so melody wise, the chord structure, like, they're not 1 4 5 shake and bake songs, man. And if you listen to Elliot Easton guitar solos, that guy's throwing in like country licks and stuff, and it's like a whole hybrid mishmash. He's not just, oh, it's an A and I'm gonna blow through it an A. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very sophisticated pop. If no one, if there's anyone in the chat that is not given the Cars a chance, listen to a Cars song and listen to especially to Elliot Easton. Elliot Easton, his songs are his solos are better than the songs. You know what I mean? Some crazy, crazy stuff. I mean, we just started doing Just What I Needed.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. The way that song builds the chords, the guitar solo is absolutely insane. It's just, man, these guys, they are, it's sort of like using the jazz mentality, but infusing it into like a pop sense. You know what I mean? The way the way the songs are structured, like just really sophisticated stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ben Orr had a fantastic voice there in songs. He was great. Yeah. They were all great, man. Great musicians. Greg Hawk on the keyboards. Those simple lines that he was playing, just fantastic. Fantastic band, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aaron Songs is saying that's one of his favorite solos to play. Yeah, me too. We did a car song last night, sort of as a tribute to Rick Ocasek.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah, they were great. I had some of their albums growing up. And then of course, I mean the hits,
Oh,
you hear all the time,
yeah, that whole first record, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think someone was saying their first record was like their best one. I
Well,
think.
in terms of radio airplay, that got the most airplay. Pretty much every song on that record is a single.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Just What I Needed, like, I could go on and on. I mean, there's a whole verse that he's on the offbeat on the drums. He's playing on the offbeat, right? Like, who does that in a pop song? And he just does it for kicks and then comes back in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just little stuff like that, these little spices of, sophistication are just spread out, and that's what takes it to them. But the thing is, they had the hooks and they were poppy and the mass audience was latching onto that. But as a musician, you're hearing all this other shit going on. You're like, man, listen to that. That's cool. That's cool. You're picking out those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was that perfect blend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that kind of happened the other night. I was listening to a bunch of their stuff, sitting here, with these headphones, listening,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the tunes that I was hearing, I hadn't heard in years,
Right.
decades, and hearing it, like some of the stuff I had heard, as a little kid, and when you're a kid, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool, but if you're, you grow up and you're a musician and you hear it again for the first time in so many years, you hear it in a totally different way.
Yeah, you appreciate it more.
And yeah, like I posted a video on my Facebook. You might think, by the
Mm-hmm.
Cars. I hadn't seen that video probably since 1984, literally. Although
Yeah.
I would see it every day back in the day, But hearing the song now, especially with the earphones, I was hearing all this stuff and just totally digging, what I was hearing, in a different way, hearing, I don't know, just hearing every instrument, hearing how they mesh together and work together, like if you don't play an instrument, or maybe when you're younger, you don't hear things in the same way.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to say. And then you hear it later on and you get it.
The production on that first record, I really dig too. The guitar tone that they were getting there, that really compressed tone, it was perfect. Like for all those rhythm parts, I can go on and on about that record. Bye Bye Love, man. Like the solo on that, Holy shit. Just Elliot Easton is one of my favorite guitar players, obviously. That guy's just incredible. Absolute monster on a guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got it. Randy Rhoads was a guitar player, not Elliot Easton. Okie doke. Don't even know what that meant.
Yeah. Yeah, Easton. Yeah, he's cool, man. Yeah, Rhodes is cool. I mean, they're cool for different reasons. You know, you would
Yeah.
you know, there's certain musicians where you trade places with them and it's like, nah, that doesn't work. But you know, they you know, you find your spot, you know, they find a certain spot and it can be just it can be it.
Well, and the other thing is
So
too, like, I never understood this thing where, if I say Elliot Easton is good, that doesn't mean everybody else is bad. I'm just saying he's good. Don't read more into it.
mm-hmm.
The other day I was on, I was on the Live Wire show. That's a show that Brian S. and Dr. Dave does. And I was a guest on there, and they were asking me if I wanted to trade talent for a day, who would it be? If I was to have somebody's talent for 24 hours. The first thing that popped into my head was Nuno Betancourt, because I think that guy's a phenomenal musician. I think he's a great guitar player. The guy can sing really well. He doesn't sing a lot, but he can sing really well. And he plays multiple instruments. He's not just a guitar player. So I thought, but there's so many, my God, like so many great players. And it's good to listen, like what you're saying earlier, to a variety of music too. I think that really helps, because then when you go back, when you go back to playing, you're going to bring in different influences and maybe look at things in a different way, right? And that,
Mm-hmm.
one of the, if you get stuck in sort of a box, it's like, I got a writer's block, or I'm always sounding the same or whatever. Best way to just take yourself out of that and listen to stuff that you normally wouldn't listen to, and that usually opens it up a bit more, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and even you know, switch guitars.
Switch guitars.
You know, take the whammy bar off.
Yeah.
You know, don't use the distortion.
Yeah, play clean.
Mm-hmm.
Play clean.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
That's normally what I do. I'm always playing
I
clean.
play clean pretty much most of
You
the
know.
time too, yeah. Because that will show you your weaknesses, is when you're playing clean with no effects. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's you got to have the cake before you have the icing, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times if I pick up a guitar, I don't even plug in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just sitting there on the couch playing the guitar,
Mm.
playing either if I'm warming up, I'm doing like scales or just exercises or whatever. Um, and then what happens uh, pretty much most of the time is I'll come up with some cool little lick or riff or idea, and I'll work on it, and then I'll put it down, I'll tape it, you know, and save
Mhm.
it, and if it's something I remember, every time I pick up the guitar after that, I'll work on it a little bit, and yeah, always writing stuff, coming up with ideas, and um, but yeah, you don't want to, especially if you want to grow as a musician, if you're if you're into any kind of uh, I guess music or whatever it is, you want to try different things, you know, do different stuff, you know. It depends on what your goal is,
Yeah.
or why. Look at Ned, he's going crazy. You
Yeah.
know, depends on what on what's going on, because for me, the reason I play guitar now is to create stuff,
Right.
is to write, you know. I mean, that's that's one of the reasons I do, this kind of thing here is to create, entertain,
Yeah.
and it's just another extension of, there's the guitar, there's music, there's, whatever this is, the new TV,
The new TV. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The YouTube thing. I've been, I guess, doing regular stuff. It's over a year now. It was about a year in July, and for me, it started off with just hanging out, just doing the live streams and chatting with folks that were into the same kind of thing that you were, which is basically guitars, gear, music, and so on. And and it just sort of kept evolving from there. Like I'm actually getting close to 1,000 subs at this point, so which is very, very cool. I decided to kind of push it a little bit and try to hit a milestone by Christmas this year, and it's hopefully I'll make it. And I want to thank everybody in the chat that is sub to my channel, and that's kind of how it started off. And for me, it's that, like, I like making the videos and stuff, and like demos and all that kind of stuff. And but for me, the cool part is just the interaction. It's just being on. And before I was on with you, I was doing my after gig hangout, and just talking and communicating, and and sharing information, man. Like, I learned a ton in this last year about gear. I mean, I got stuff on my board because of people in this chat. You know what I mean? Hey, try this. Hey, try that pickup. What, you got a problem with this? Like, just guitar stuff, maintenance stuff, gear stuff, music stuff, just in the last year. Because it's like, if you talk about, this guitar and music and that over a year's period of time, you're going to hear a lot of stuff that you wouldn't think of on your own, and it helps you a lot, because everybody's got information, everybody's got, something that you can learn from, right? So it's been awesome. Like, I've loved it this last year. It's been very, very cool, right?
That's great, man.
Yeah, really
I
dig it.
know.
Really appreciate you folks. You guys rock, man. Rock.
Yeah, you guys are awesome, man.
I'm not giving you a foot rub, Joe Hervey. Don't even think about it. Oh, Lord. No,
Yeah.
you rock, JJ.
Yeah, JJ's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I've had him on. He's a good dude. Great stories. And that's the other thing too, man. You hear some of these stories that these guys have. Really, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the reasons I do this is to tell stories or things, over the years that nobody I've never told anybody,
Yeah.
or whatever. It's basically, this is kind of like doing these videos is kind of like it's like therapy to me. It's being able to talk about stuff that I've never talked about, or if I have, it's to, to other people,
Right.
or
Right.
whatever.
Well,
And
who's going to want to listen to you, right? Like, if that, unless they have the same interests, right? Like, I do an after gig hangout thing the Sundays after my show, right? So who would give a shit? You know what I mean? Hey, you want to hear about my show last night? Nah, not really. Well, because they're not interested in music and they don't gig or whatever, right? Because they couldn't care less. But you do it on a show, and you got other people that are in the same boat. Oh yeah, that happened to me, or oh yeah, this happened, or you should do this or do that, whatever. It's that having that commonality, right? That's what's really cool about it. I had this happen in the studio, or I don't know, whatever. Pick your poison. There's always some commonality there. Somebody has a story or something to add, to your experience, right? So that's why I really dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Ned. Hey.
He's making a bed for himself over there. He's having his
Man.
own party over there, looks like.
Yeah. He's going nuts. He's going
Yeah.
crazy and um yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, being able to. Hey Brian, Six String Brian's in the house.
Hey, Brian.
Um it's awesome to be able to talk about this stuff. Talk about, you know, the same stuff that we like or to turn people on to other things that they
Mm,
might not know about. Whether it's some sort of piece of gear or a song
yeah.
or
Or music. Yeah. Listen to
you
this.
know
Listen to that. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
you know because yeah, a lot of people they have different influences, different ideas,
Hmm.
and it's good to it's good to share that stuff.
For sure.
Hey Bam Ozzy. Hey Gary, what's up, man? The what? What's the Fallsbury flop? What? Oh, hey,
Fosbury Flot. No idea. Never heard that one before.
he's sitting right here. You can see him right.
Yeah, I see him.
The lamp is there. He is.
There.
Oh, now he's looking at the lights. He's like, huh, I wonder if I can climb up on those now. Yeah, we don't know how old he is, but
I was going to
he,
ask you that because he seems like a young cat.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Things seem like some things are like brand new to him. You can't see him, but now he's like what? He's watching something out the window. There might be a bird or something out there.
Cool. Oh, I see his tail. There he is.
Yeah, yeah. He's watching something.
Cool.
Man, yeah, and we've only had him for like a few weeks, and it's like, man, I want to pull out the 5150, the half stack, and use it, but he's only been here. Yeah, I haven't done it since he's been here, and I don't want to freak him out.
Yeah. No, you don't want to do that. That's cool.
It's like, man, yeah, my neighbor's not here. I could like totally be cranking it. Yeah, because we live out in the middle of nowhere, so I could turn a half stack up to like halfway or whatever, and it'd be fine.
Nice.
Nobody would do nothing.
Yeah, that's cool.
And but yeah, but the cat, I don't want to.
The
I don't
cat
want
might
to.
run and never come back.
I don't want to scare him. Yeah, he'll have to get used. I think he's used to the guitar now, just like acoustically,
Right.
Because I remember when we first got Howie. Howie, he was scared of the guitar. He was
All
scared of
right.
it, and then eventually he got used to it, and you know.
So that's weird because my dog, it like if I want my dog to come in here, I just got to start playing. It's like
Hmm.
it's like the dog is just drawn to it, and he'll sit there like always kind of in front of the speaker or just sort of right at my feet, which gets in the way half the time because I'm trying to set up pedals and that. And yeah, that's why I keep joking around that my dog's like my biggest fan because as soon as I start playing, there she is.
Hmm.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Howie. Yeah, he's used to it now. Well, it's been almost 17 years. He's used to it. But I'm always careful though. Like if I'm blasting through an amp here, if I notice he's coming in, I'll stop. As he goes by the speaker and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll mess up their ears too, right?
You know. Yeah. Um. They are racing Indy cars today. Laguna Seca, really? That's cool. That's cool. Oh yeah, it's beautiful here. I might actually hit the beach. Or actually, I've got a friend that busks. You know what busking is, right?
Yeah.
I've got a friend that busks over on the boardwalk, and I don't think he's going to be there today, but hmm, maybe if he is, I'll head over there and jam with him.
Sure.
Last time we did that, we made I made like $25,
There you go. Pays your gas.
you know, and
Well, if you want to get going, Johnny, we've been on for over an hour, so
an hour,
an hour.
yeah, like hour and 11,
Yeah.
something like that. Cool. Well, how many Les Pauls do you have? Soda's asking.
So, 4. 2 standards and 2 classics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never owned a real one. I've got an Epiphone.
Epiphone's fun.
That I got, and this band that I was in, we were endorsed by Fender and Gibson at the same time.
That's weird. Like
Um,
Coke and Pepsi.
yeah, yeah. So I remember when we went to Austin to play. We played Austin a couple times, and we'd go to the Gibson showroom over there
Mm-hmm.
and pick up some other gear and stuff. And actually, we'd go to the Beverly Hills showroom as well. And I remember they had some Kramers there. And I remember, being a Kramer freak, I was like, wow, look at this stuff. But I remember playing in Austin. It's like, oh, the Gibson guy is going to come by, so you know, play the Epiphone, you know,
Yeah.
or a three. Actually, we had a really cool 335, a USA 335 that they
Yeah,
loaned us
335s are great. Yeah.
for a tour, and I've got some pictures of me playing that thing.
Do you find it awkward because of the size of it, or were you comfortable with it?
No. My favorite, one of the most comfortable guitar in the world to me is a 335.
Oh, okay,
Actually,
cool. Yeah.
actually, I have one in the Guitar Moire, like right there. It's a Seville. It's just a Japanese 335 style guitar. And
Well, the new EVH guitars are just coming out now. I think they're called the 5150s, the new EVH ones, and you should check those out. They're are they Mexican made? I think they're Mexican made.
I think so, yeah. The
Yeah,
50 series,
yeah,
the solid colors, yeah,
solid colors. Yeah, you got to try one of those, Johnny.
yeah.
I
Oh,
unbelievable. I,
I,
I I played the one in because I played a bunch of the Kramers when I was in Nashville, and then I played the. I thought that neck for me felt way better.
hmm
Yeah, I really dug that guitar.
Well, they're better. They're better quality than the new Kramers.
You know, I picked it up and I was blown away by. I didn't plug it in. I just the feel of the guitar. I just absolutely loved it. And I looked at the headstock. I thought for sure it was a USA made guitar. I couldn't believe it was not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're great. They're really
Mm-hmm.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've played the Stripe Series version of it, and actually, a
Mm.
friend of mine has one, and
Oh, okay.
I've
So
done a bunch of videos with them before. Yeah,
Right, right.
So I know I pretty much know what that guitar is going to feel like,
Yeah.
um but yeah, yeah, I dig them.
Super impressed with those, man.
Hey, Roman Delight 90, welcome. Yeah, Mickey, 335 style guitars are pretty comfortable. Yeah, yeah, they are. You know, because because the size, like you were saying about the size, the size makes it to where it's almost like it's easier to hang on to in a way.
Hmm.
Because it's so big.
So I have the
Um,
baby version. I've got the 339,
mm-hmm.
which is the same thing but shrunk. Um, just I think it's maybe just a touch bigger than a Les Paul body, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an awesome guitar too.
Mm-hmm.
Very close in sound to a 335. Very close, but you can still hear the difference. But they're close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I recommend
Yeah.
I was mentioning Eastman. Eastman makes a fantastic 335 style guitar. I've uh, I've played them. They're really Eastman makes some really good stuff actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Soda, yeah, my white hammer, it's up in the loft. It's right above me. It's I've got a bunch of guitars like right above me, like cases, and that's where I keep them,
It's got them all stashed.
you know. Yeah. Uh but cool. Okay. Well, I think we're gonna call it.
All right.
Great talking to you, man.
Yeah, it's cool hanging out, Johnny. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks to everybody for tuning in. You guys rock.
Yes.
Thank you all so much.
Everybody, Renus, Vistalite, Bam Ozzy, Soda, Krellbar,
Yeah.
everyone. And well, there goes Ned. Whoa. All right. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get something to eat. Maybe I'm gonna hit up the beach. Maybe. I should.
Yeah.
I
I
should.
would.
It's too nice. It's too nice out not to. Oh man. All right. See you guys soon. I'll see you guys Tuesday. The scheduled show Tuesday. It's going to be Insanity. Caleb Rappaport from Nerd Halen is going to be at Nesdall's.
There you go.
So it'll be Caleb, Nesdall, Mancuda. I think they're saying Pete Caruch from Franks and Beans. He's going to be there. It's going to be nuts. So that's Tuesday, and then I've got a bunch of stuff planned. I've got an unboxing I got to do right here from a company called Three Monkeys Solderless. Right there.
It's a good name.
It's heavy. It's heavy.
He's Solderless.
Yeah, it's a bunch of cables. It's a bunch of cables from my board.
Right.
And so I'm gonna do an unboxing and then make up, reorganize my board with these cables. So look for that. Oh man. Maybe this week. This week sometime. And then I'm basically stagged for the week as well. So lot of stuff. Cool. Okay, and when's the next time you're on? When are you going to be on?
I'll be on. I'm working on a guest, and it's a time zone thing. If I get the guest, I'll probably be on Wednesday. If the guest thing doesn't work out, I'll be on Thursday. But one way or the other, I'll be on this week, either Wednesday or my regular Thursday 8 p.m. show. So check that out, folks.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, everybody, leave a thumbs up, subscribe,
Yeah.
and we'll see you guys soon. Hit the bell. Only if you're new. All right, rock on.
Cheers, everybody.
Horse and buggy. How do you do this? All right, Johnny Bean TV. Bye. I think that's